All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Two Men in Black and White, an honest conversation. I'm Mark Hayes, joining you from the ATL Shouty. All right, let's get right into it. He said he was going to do it. He said he was going to go after his political enemies, and now he's done it. He's indicted James Comey. And yes, you can indict a ham sandwich, but why would you indict a guy who's got besides the Hillary Clinton decision, a pretty much flawless reputation? I can't imagine this guy breaking the law. I can't imagine James Comey jaywalking, much less, being guilty of the flimsy case that Pam Bondi and her minions have put together in the clown car cabinet and what is the leadership, if you want to call it that, over at the DOJ. People are resigning left and right. They just think the rule of law is dead. And here comes, this lunatic Trump putting pressure on her to do, the unthinkable. Because this was unthinkable up until now in the United States of America. Brock Ganeles joins me from the beautiful confines of the beautiful Hudson River Valley. Brock, what say you, my friend? I mean, your boy is just out of control. I mean, the Trumpster, Cankles McTaco Tits, is just a lunatic. He's gonna be written, when the history is written on this, it's gonna be so disgustingly ugly. I mean, why would anybody want to be a part of this?
Because some really, really believe that America's a Christian nation, Christo-fascist nation, and they believe in the white supremacy, and they're swallowing the autocracy because they won't accept the diversity, as you said on our last episode. So that's what's behind it. Comey, I don't know if Comey was a trial balloon, just see what he can get away with, see if there's pushback. It's a sloppy indictment because the lawyer who's doing it, I guess an insurance lawyer, pageant winner,
right?
Yeah, who's already had 3 briefs, kind of thrown out by the judge because they were done improperly. So it's not a well executed indictment. I mean, but the real problem is the fact that it's happening at all. But it doesn't. I can't imagine this going anywhere. But we know Letitia James is on the list somewhere. He's threatened Adam Schiff. A sitting senator seems like a really not a great target for him to go after. That's going to stir up the entire political world. Comey, Comey maybe doesn't have the same kind of allies because he's not in the seat right now. But I don't think, it's not going to work. And in the end, it'll be a nuisance for Comey and cost him a lot of money, right? Because he's going to have to defend himself. I can't see any chance in hell that he's actually convicted of something.
Of anything.
But that's not even the issue, right? The issue is, what is the Department of Justice doing? It's way out in the open. They fired the last prosecutor who refused to bring the case because he didn't think anything was there. This is, yes, it's dangerous, but it's an embarrassment for the country. It's an embarrassment. It's such a breach of rule.
It really is. And it really signals the lack of awareness that Donald Trump has with his position, his authority, his influence. No other president would dare try to influence an attorney general to bring a case against one of his political foes. This is all about retribution. This is all about get back, right? How many names are on the list? Right?
But political foes, this is an ex-director of the FBI. Exactly. This isn't just some guy from Queens that Trump's trying to get back at, because he didn't put enough cement in one of his fucking sidewalks, right? This is the head of the fucking FBI. So that's what makes this a big fucking deal, right? And why Comey's even such an enemy is bizarre, right? It's he's an enemy, there's thousands of enemies. The definition of a Donald Trump enemy, right, is anyone who either, disagrees with him, calls him out on his total lies and bullshit, right, confronts him in any fucking way, shape, or form. Those all of a sudden get painted as enemies of Donald Trump.
Right.
No, it's the whole idea is a fraud. Trump's a fraud. The sad part is how many people go along with it. So that's when the history is written. It's going to be all the people who have gone along with it. The fuck are they doing?
Right. I wonder if Putin's going to be influencing his get back list. You know, Putin's got some people he like McFaul. He'd like to go after McFaul because of his understanding of, you know, the Russian oligarchy and how the government works over there and Vladimir's criminal influence on the entire planet.
We could start going through names, right? Peter Strzok, Jack Smith. Who knows? He may even go after fucking Garland, right? And he's going after Lisa Monaco was the number 2 or the number 3 in that Garland DOJ. Now working for Microsoft. Trump had a huge Truth Social, basically threatening Microsoft to fire her, right? Just like he's still threatening Disney to fire Kimmel, even though kind of Kimmel looks to have won that battle. So maybe Trump loses all these battles and continues to lose face and continues to lose approval because of this. But no one in the political class has the balls to go against him. So Mike Johnson and all those cohorts in the Congress and Senate are all in lockstep. They may chirp a little bit, except Thomas Massie. We'll come back to that in the Epstein files. And of course, the Supreme Court rules everything, as you point out all the time, rules everything 6-3 in Trump's favor.
Right.
They overturn lower courts left and right. I mean, they're giving executive powers on shit that like is clearly, you know, not the purview of the executive branch, you know, on spending.
Right. You know, Justice Clarence, I can't, this guy, just knowing that this guy took Thurgood Marshall's seat makes me sick to my stomach every time I think about it. But this clown apparently today said that, you know, legal precedents are not the gospel. What the fuck does that mean, Clarence? What does that mean? That means you're open to overturning anything. Right?
Everything's back on the table. Yep.
Yeah.
Bring anything. Bring anything.
Yeah. Bring anything. If it looks good to Trump, it looks good to us. I mean, you know, look, again.
Women's suffrage. Thought that was settled in what, 1908 or something? Nope. All right, let's bring that back.
Yep.
Bring that back on the table.
You know, they're talking about revisiting a Humphrey's executor versus the U.S., a 90-year precedent that limits a president's ability to remove members of some independent federal agencies without cause.
Without cause now. Oh, because the whole idea of having to show cause is getting in the way of them firing the black woman on the Fed, right? So now we got to look back to a century to unwind it.
Right. I mean, this guy, how are we going to do this for 3 more years?
When is it going to be enough for the American public? Where is the tipping point? Right. Yes, America, sane white America and black America, and I guess Latino America, the left, the ununified left, but still agreeing on almost every topic, but not able to actually get together as a team.
Right.
From our couches with our keyboards and our phones, and basically supported Jimmy Kimmel and won the battle against Disney, won the battle against Trump, and won the battle against Sinclair and Nexstar, who have now all rolled over and are, after a 2-show boycott, are now showing Kimmel again in all the local networks.
Well, so I'm sure those phones rang off in a city like Seattle. You're not going to show Kimmel? I bet they blew those phones right off the hook. You know, Washington.
Which shows that things can get done, especially with economic pressure. Target was the model. Target was the model. We knew the Disney battle could be won economically. All that had to happen is people had to cancel their trips and cancel their subscriptions. And Disney would have an oh shit moment, which they did.
Yep.
But what? Hey, that's keyboard warriors. That's keyboard warriorship, right? That was it. That was a keyboard war.
Yep. That didn't involve anybody getting hurt. All you had to do was take
a couple hangnails, maybe some fingernails got cracked along the way. I mean, Yeah, pretty nonviolent. That was a pretty nonviolent confrontation there.
Right, right. I mean, it's just ridiculous. No, and look, again, America has got to wake up and smell the fucking coffee because this fucking guy is breaking shit to the point where I mean, we've talked about this before. Are we going to be able to fix this in our lifetime, Brock? Are we going to be
I don't
able
know.
to get our democracy back? Right? We've got so many issues we've got to fix. We got to fix the electoral college. Right? One man, one vote is what we need. This electoral college is so fucking played out and outdated. We can't continue to try to govern like this. With people in Wyoming getting the same weight on a vote as the people in New York and California. It just doesn't fucking fly. Right? Why do they have two senators in Wyoming and two in New York and California, Texas? It doesn't make any sense. It makes no
Yeah,
sense.
that's why we
What
can't
do you
get
got?
shit done. Can't
What
get
do you got?
shit
Three and
done.
a half
North
million
Dakota,
people?
South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. It's
All
like
state.
start the whole game starts with 10 Republican seats. And they're representing like a million people. They're representing about as many people that live in DC that have no senator, right? Like the
Exactly.
whole thing is so fucking flawed
Exactly.
and rigged. That's part of a rigged political system.
Right. But don't call it that. Right? Because the only one who gets screwed is your boy, Donald Trump. And now there's new talk about him not winning the election in 24. I've been saying that ever since that writer broke that story about, what he was able to uncover. And plus, I'll say it again, right? Pennsylvania, 1,000 doors the week before the election. Kamala herself was knocking on doors. And you tell me he won all 7 swing states with no
It's
ground game
amazing.
and no, like visible game plan or campaign. Fuck no. There's no way you can convince me he won that election fair and square. The Doji Bros did something. Elon and his muskrats, did something to that election. I don't know what, but apparently Kamala's talking about it now on her book tour, and we didn't need that to help galvanize the left, right? Some of the
Yeah,
things that she was talking
I
about.
was going to save that for the end and ask you what you thought of Kamala's book and book tour. I'm a Kamala fan, but I'm with you. I have no interest in these 2024 election post-mortem memoir-y shit. I didn't care about the Biden fucking book, and I don't care. Like, okay, and some of this shit doesn't make sense. She wouldn't pick Buttigieg because America was not ready for a gay man on the ticket, but it was ready for a black woman. Like, that's a weird stance to have as a black
Yeah.
woman. It just didn't make sense to me. I actually thought Walls was a good pick. So,
I
like,
did too.
I get it. I get it that she was undermined by part of Biden's team, and there's probably like some residual anger seeming, that's been bubbling underneath, and she wants to get her side of it out. But we're in a fucking civil war. No one cares about that shit. We're in a fight
Oh,
against Trump right now. Like, no, it just doesn't matter. We've had to put that behind us. We're 9 months into a disastrous unwinding of our democracy and our entire country. Like,
leave
the
that shit for
machinations,
another
the behind the
time
scenes machinations of a political party, like, don't matter to us right now.
at all.
It's just the wrong time. Wrong time
Right.
for the discussion.
I really feel like it couldn't be more ill-timed. Almost to the point where it feels like a money grab. And we're Howard University alumni. I love her to death. But again, where is our Navalny? I keep saying it, right? We need someone to speak up for the country, not to speak up
That's
for
what I
the
would want her to do. Come out swinging against Trump.
right. Right. That's
And
what we need.
not against what Biden did or some people on his team or the 107 days and this, that, and the other thing. Like, that has nothing to do with anybody's life in America right now.
At all.
Like, no one's got food on the table. Like, it just doesn't affect like, what are you doing now? I've said this, remember I said this a few days ago, like, I don't care about anyone's success in the past. All I want to hear about is what are you doing right fucking now? And then I want to talk about Kimmel in a second too, and what you thought of his monologue. So for me with Kamala Harris is, what are you doing right now to restore America? Like, that's what I want to know. Not what happened in your election a year ago. It's fucking ancient history at this point.
It doesn't matter. It's water under the bridge. So what? Like, we screwed the pooch on that one. But again, it really does magnify the ineffectiveness of the Democratic Party to coalesce and to present a cohesive unit and a cohesive front, right? Can't message, right? Can't unify, can't come together. You can't even pick a fucking presidential candidate, right? And look, I mean, wow. When we saw that disastrous debate performance by President Biden, we knew right then there was no way, he was going to be able to rise to the moment of a Donald Trump, right? And I know his team knew that because they practiced those things. So they had to know he was going to get smoked. So, but again, it matters not, right? Was he going to win that presidential race with that kind of debate performance and another one scheduled?
I don't know. Do you remember who the Chancellor of Germany was in 1932? Do you remember the 1930 German, parliament elections and what the... No one fucking knows. No one cares, right?
Nope.
We're 1933 Germany. Like, we do not need to do the post-mortem on what has happened. Look, for all we know, Kamala might have won, like you said. Maybe she got screwed in the whole thing. But until we get back into power, we're not even going to be able to have the investigations to look into that shit. So all that matters now is winning and unseating Donald Trump. And that's going to require us not just being keyboard warriors and winning battles against Disney from our phones and through subscription cancellations. We're going to have to get on the street and we're going to have to show strength and show power.
Huge.
Maybe we do that at the next No Kings rally. Speaking of showing power or not, what was your thoughts on the Kimmel monologue? We talked about, last time we spoke, we were heading into that because we've had to take a couple of days off. And I was worried he was going to come too soft. What was your sense?
I thought it was borderline soft. I would have liked to see him hit harder.
So funny. So funny you say that. Because I was disappointed. I stayed up and listened to it. And I know, and he got praised for hitting all the right notes, and it was conciliatory, and that's sort of the Michelle Obama, he went high. For the most part, I thought it was a little soft. I didn't think he spit enough fire. I thought that should have been he should have gone after it more. Getting upset about Charlie Kirk's wife. We don't fucking care about Charlie Kirk's wife and her distress. The husband was a Nazi. He fucking had horrendous shit to say about most of America. He was divisive as they come. And, I'm sorry that another person on the right decided to shoot him because they have their own problems on their side about who's even militant enough. But that whole play to the Charlie Kirk crowd, and I'm just tired of that. We don't.
Look, if
I don't see the value.
If they watched you, they were going to keep watching you when you came back. If they didn't, they weren't gonna. Okay? That was an opportunity for Jimmy Kimmel to unite the left. And he chose not to do it. Maybe he wasn't allowed to do it. Look, he and his wife make their living off that show. I get it. But he's been doing it 23 fucking years. Okay? If they blow you out of there, something tells me you got enough nuts squirreled away that you're going to be fine for.
Yeah. It's not even about money. How much money do keep talking about this? How much money do people fucking need? He has enough money to live a great life. It can't be just about the money, right? Maybe he wants to do the show and loves having the platform. I get that. but you can make the transition to independent media and the audience, a
Right.
portion of the audience becoming the. I get it. It's not the
Right.
same as having that big a perch every night. I understand why he wants to keep the job. Yeah, I was disappointed. I thought that's good that you point out it was a chance to unite the left, and he tried to play that. Oh, I'm going to try to unite everybody card.
That's not
And
happening.
this country just can't be united right now. Like, that's got to be down the road. First, we need to restore American democracy. And then we can talk about how, and we have to defeat the MAGA white supremacy movement. Then we can talk about how to trying to get some of these MAGA people to adjust to a multiracial, multicultural America.
Right.
But until we address that point, there's no like unity and handshakes across the aisle and this and that. Like,
None
if
of that.
racism is your number one driver of your life, then like until you get over that, we can't have a restored America. Like, you have to acknowledge the fact that you're living in a country that has a whole bunch of people that don't look like you in it. And that goes for everyone. You have a bunch of people in this country who don't look like you, Latinos, Native Americans, Asians, right? Everyone. We have to be able to just live with each other. So there is no unity until that's acknowledged.
But Brock, their entire business model is based on hatred of others. That's the entire business.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk has an $18 million mansion overlooking Beverly Hills. One of the finest homes in all of Beverly Hills. Right? Turning Point was an $85-90 million a year hate-filled. How much does it cost to put a tent up on a college campus? Right? Now you've got those same little Nazi fellas running up on black college campuses trying to sit down and having a debate with people over at Tennessee State. Somebody's going to get hurt doing that.
Yeah. MAGA needs to be defeated, not unified with. Right. There's not going to be any, we're not coming to accord with them. Their outlook on the country is too radical. They've traded authoritarianism so that they can get their racism. Like, the country can't operate that way. That's not the majority. We have to get back to majority rule, and they have to adjust to a multicultural, multiracial society.
Period.
The rest of us don't have to adjust to the fact that we have these white supremacists running around and we have to like share power with them, or right now, like live underneath their power. Like, that's not where we're going. And that, yeah, I totally agree. I don't think that, to me, I was like, Kimmel didn't move the needle. He played to an America that doesn't exist anymore.
Yep. And he had the chance to do something big. I mean, big. Because, I mean, think about the numbers that he got that night, right? Probably some unprecedented numbers. And I never even looked to see the numbers because I was so unimpressed with the monologue. And, you know.
Tamping down. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, again, someone fails to rise to the moment. You've got to match Donald Trump's energy, right? And you've got to match his hate with the fact of the matter that democracy is more important than his stupidity, right? And that he had every point to he had Donald Trump that night and sit there and tell us in chapter and verse why this guy is bad for America, why he's bad for free speech, why he's bad for entertainment, why he's bad for business, why he's bad for the economy, why he's bad for America. And somebody like Jimmy Kimmel, white guy, wealthy, can do it and get away with it. He could have done it and gotten away with it.
Yeah, arguing for free speech wasn't enough. It wasn't just about free speech. It's bigger than that. That was just the canary in the coal mine. That was what just got this particular controversy started, and maybe it's the one that affects him and hits home. But it's not big enough. Like, yeah, he should have hit Trump hard for half the monologue should have been about the fact that Trump's un-American. And just bringing up the fact that, Pete Hegseth is also cracking down on journalists. Like, that's not enough. That's that's just another minor piece of a huge puzzle, right? It's the healthcare, it's the ICE agents, it's the fact that we stopped feeding starving kids in Africa, it's the ripping down of education. Like it's the loss of rule of law. We got a laundry list of shit that's gone away. So just to talk free speech because you're a comedian, like, okay, so now you won your little battle, you got your job back, okay?
Right.
Big fucking deal. Like, yeah, didn't meet the moment in my opinion either. I was just really interested you thought that way too because you got so widely praised for it. I thought maybe I was a total outlier. And I haven't talked about this with anyone since it happened. I thought I was a total outlier that I was disappointed and thought it was soft.
No, bro. I mean, it was such an opportunity. I was so pissed off. Obviously I was preoccupied, but I just really felt like he would have brought it home for us. Right? And started the whole...
Brought more fire.
Yeah. We needed him to spit fire. We needed him to start a roll of momentum, right, into the streets. Right?
Because more people having more to say and piling on it and raise the agitation level. Exactly. I just don't understand the whole idea that tamping things down is the goal. Tamping things down is not the fucking goal. No. Like, that's not the biggest problem in America. Isn't the fact that there's some violence going on in small little pockets. The biggest thing going on is we've lost the fucking democracy and the rule of law. So we don't have to just tamp things down and see how we can try to unify and get along. Get along on what terms? Get along on the terms of having no rule of law? Get along on the terms of having no democracy? Like, no.
Right. Makes no sense.
We need to amp things. Because we're in a civil war. Things need to be amped up. We need to regain power.
Yep. And
being conciliatory and like statesman-like is a fucking loser's game right now.
We don't need it. We don't need it. We need we don't need shooters. We need killers. Right? We need somebody.
Which is why Kamala's spending her time, the airtime that she's getting with all these outlets because she's on the book tour, whether it be The View or Colbert or wherever she's going, and she's spending her time talking about how she made her vice president's decision a year ago. No one fucking cares.
Nope.
It doesn't change the state of play in America one iota, what your thought process was back then. Like, what you're using your platform right now for that when she should be spitting fire at Trump. Why can't she be part of the anti-Trump leadership? You know what Trump did when he lost?
It's about the money.
What did Trump do? What did Trump do when he lost? He became the number one critic of Biden for 4 years.
And then he stole secret documents and never got prosecuted for it.
And won the nomination and then won the presidency. But he didn't stop for a second from criticizing.
Not 1 second.
Right? But
see, the Democrats' problem is constantly taking the fucking high road. That's not going to help us. That's not going to help us at all. Not at all. That's not going to get anything done. It's not moving the needle. Kimmel found out the hard way. All these people are going to be remembered for taking the fucking high road when our democracy was crumbling. And that's how the history books are going to remember. You think this isn't going to be in the history books for Jimmy Kimmel? And verbatim, we've got a record of what he said. And
but I feel like he's getting praised. He's getting praised like that tennis player who took the high road when the other woman was
gave her the
racist against her, right? When you know what? The real inclination was she should have just ripped that other player a fucking new asshole, right? But yeah, we want people to be like, statesman-like and, quote, professional. And that's what Jimmy Kimmel was. He gave a professional speech. A well-crafted, slick, professional speech that kind of tried to bring everyone under the tent. And everyone's not coming under the tent.
At all.
Because a third of the country has decided they want white supremacy and they're not coming on the tent with the rest of us.
Right.
They're not coming on the tent with us.
And remember, Brock, why do you think we were so unified after 9/11? Right? Because there was so much hate toward brown people anyway. Yeah. You know how relieved black people were on 9/12?
There wasn't a black guy flying the plane?
Black guys flying the plane. maybe we'll catch a
You
break
probably feel
for a
that
few
way,
months.
right? Every time there's one of these shooters, right? You're just hoping it's
Yeah,
not a black guy. It
but
never
it's
is,
not.
right?
It
It
never
never
is.
is. It's always the
Yeah,
same. It's always the same young white guy.
same
But
dude, same dude doing all these shootings. You know,
so
he's
it's
got
got different
four.
name. There's that
Yeah,
guy, and apparently there's that guy in every county. Every
yeah,
county's got that guy.
yeah. With
You
more or
know,
less.
Dallas found out they had one too, right?
Yep,
Dallas has one.
yep.
You know,
Really, really, dude, you're
this is
shooting
rotating.
handcuffed immigrants who are being rousted for no reason, for coming here and trying to make a living, trying to find a
But
better life.
supposedly he was. But supposedly he was anti-ICE and was really wanted to kill the ICE agents. That's how it was being positioned. But somehow he ended up killing the brown people.
Isn't
So he's
that
a
funny?
terrible. So he has terrible aim. Or that narrative was total bullshit. Like, which was it? Was
I'm
he
gonna
really
go
trying to
total
shoot the
bullshit
ICE
for
agent?
200. Give me total
Which one are you
bullshit
gonna
for
go?
200. Give me total
Yeah,
bullshit for 200. Shit.
yeah. Because well,
All right.
one thing you learned is these guys all have good aim, right? Like,
Yeah.
because they've been
Yeah.
at the range since they were like 6 years old. So like
I mean, it's
they don't
insane.
miss.
No, no, they don't miss. What do you got for a quick hit for me before we get out of here?
I mean, you stole my Kamala quick hit. So I'm not sure I don't have a secondary quick hit for you. What do you got for me?
Schmutz. You know what? The last of the Tuskegee Airmen has passed away. I saw a little blurb on it, and I actually had met one of the two remaining ones 2 summers ago in a grocery store here, and just had he was wearing a Tuskegee Airman hat, and I said, "Sir, excuse me, are you a Tuskegee Airman? World War II and everything on the hat?" And he said, "Yes, I am." And he told me I can't remember his name right now. I'm getting old, but I had the greatest conversation with him. I took a picture with him. I came home and Googled. I was so excited. I came home. I Googled him. I watched when Tuskegee Airmen movie first came on. Had a huge cadre of big name black actors: Malcolm Jamal Warner, Cuba Gooding Jr., Lawrence Fishburne. I mean, just a bunch of great stars. And it was really, really moving to see. I think Hollywood kind of sanitized it a little bit and what they had to put up with as
Hmm.
pilots. But, even with the sanitary version that we got, we still understood how magnificent they were, never losing a bomber, throughout the course of the war. So, I don't know if it's dumb luck or if it's incredible skill, but, their record speaks for itself.
Is the Smithsonian fucking whitewashing that history like out of the museum? Like, is that a
Sure they
part
are.
of the history that's getting purged from
I'm sure they are.
the rolls?
I'm sure they
Because
are.
that's sad. Well, with the last guy passing away, it makes it easier to even tuck away the story, like in a broom closet, right? Take it off the walls. We don't need to talk about that.
And over at the national, what is it, the African American History Museum, there is a Tuskegee Airman uniform that was worn by Frederica Whitfield's father. She's the CNN anchor who's been on CNN for probably 25 years. Her father was a Tuskegee Airman, and his uniform is the in the museum on display. And she interviewed actually the curator who had written a book, and he had come to Morehouse for a book discussion, and Frederica was there interviewing him. And it was a magnificent conversation, and he talked about how crazy that the idea was to put all these African American artifacts and African American stories in one place to mark history. And the end result is just magnificent. For those who have gone, it's a very moving experience. They will tell you that.
I'm one of those who have gone.
Yeah.
It's a great museum. I did it the wrong way though. I'm going to tell people the way to do the African American Museum is to go from the bottom up. Start at
You
the
started
lower
at
level and end at the top level. That I think. When I did it, I got on the escalator and I did the top level, which sort of was modern, right?
okay.
It was more, and it was more like about entertainment and stuff like that. And down on that basement floor is like the real history of blacks in America and the ships and the, like the real hardcore ugly side of stuff. So you don't
Right.
start with like the success on the second floor. Like you should start with the hardship and work your way to the success. I feel like I did the museum backwards. That's my white guy tip to people that go to the Black History Museum in DC. That's how I think you should do that museum. I don't know if you agree or if you've even thought about
Man,
it, or maybe you naturally did it the right way.
absolutely. My cousin actually works there, and he gives people the same advice. Start at the bottom, take your time, and work your way up to the top.
Yeah, I don't know why I got
Because
seduced by that escalator and I got an escalator. Who starts at the top and works down? Like it doesn't even, I don't know why. I did it alone one day in DC. It's a good museum though. Is that
yeah,
getting, like, is that one also getting defunded or tarnished by Trump? I assume Stephen
yeah,
Miller must burn his ass every day that it even exists, right? He might want to go burn it down one night.
he's been coming after him, trying to cut off funding and trying to make everything difficult for him. So it's really sad, man, that somebody is walking around with that much hatred in their heart for people that don't look like them, man. I don't understand how you operate like that. No wonder his family doesn't want to be around him. No wonder he has no friends. It's just no wonder the guy's a fucking idiot.
He's got his three percenters and his Proud Boys, though. They got this whole
Oh, they do.
cadre, right? That support each other. So,
Bunch of fucking
you know,
idiots.
that's the group that needs to be defeated.
Right.
So okay, Tuskegee Airmen, the last one passed away. That's a sad moment, but damn, it's been a good 80 plus years since the war, right? So that guy was, I'm sure he lived a good long life,
100
right?
years old.
What was he?
100.
Oh, yeah, he made it to 100. That's
Yeah.
maybe
So,
maybe we all maybe we all make it to 100.
yeah, right. Um, but yeah, man. So that's it for us, buddy. Let's get back together tomorrow and do it again.
All right, good stuff, Mark. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Same here. See you tomorrow. Peace.